Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. My name is Sir Cowdog, and this is my Dark Souls 2 kind of tutorial returning players guide to the Lost Bastille, episode 7. Now, similar to the Forest of Fallen Giants, the Lost Bastille is a pretty big zone, so I'm probably going to have to break this into 2, maybe 3 videos. So just be aware of that if you don't see everything. But approaching here from the second of 2 main entrances, the other one being from the Forest of Fallen Giants side, you do need to unlock both of these in order to get everything in the level. So keep that in mind. There are some advanced jumps you can do to get like 90% of the level, but if you do want to get everything, you need to do both sides, so just keep that in mind. Alright, the Lost Bastille is a little bit of a maze. Its layout is really bizarre, so pay close attention. You may see me jump around quite a bit to different bonfires. Hopefully it's not too confusing, and I will try to explain what I'm doing at each one of them, so it makes sense. But starting out here, got a little bit of a secret. You can see this on your way up. It's pretty easy to get as long as you know the trick of the elevator. It's scimitar and repair powder. And then it's a nice boring trip right back up to the top. As long as I'm here, see if I can finally equip these. Ooh, equip load 666. Spooky. But much better armor though. Still looks pretty cool too. So, as we all know, Fashion Souls is the true strength of the game. Okay, so this one I've already grabbed, and right up here is going to be the bonfire. But off to the right here is some fruit guarded by a skeleton. Sorry, buddy. I need that more than you. Here is the bonfire. Dramatic shadow effect. Alright. First things first, some of the barrels in Lost Bastille, they're usually a little bit darker color and a little bit more solid or slick looking, like this one. Those contain black powder, which explodes when it's hit by fire, which you probably just heard in the background. That guy tried to shoot me with a fire arrow, which caused all these barrels to explode. And there are archers everywhere in this level, so I'm going to take care of him first. Probably unnecessary, but I like to be thorough. Shoot him right in the balls. There we go. Then I'm going to drop down here, and right around the corner are some souls. Another human effigy. Alright, now you can see there's scaffolding everywhere. There's an enemy right there. And the way you deal with these, you can shoot them with arrows, but you can also knock down the scaffolding by hitting it 3 times. Doesn't seem to matter what weapon you use, but 3 attacks usually does the trick. Some dogs. Oh, 1 more dog. 2 more dogs. One more archer right up here. And 1 final dog. Who apparently likes to break barrels. Okay. Break the scaffolding as well to get the loot. And then back over here, behind this corner, is a Estus flask shard in a chest. Very important. Also gives you a little preview of the bonfire there, back past that sort of wedge in the wall. There's two ways you can get to that bonfire. Number one is you can defeat the ruin sentinels and get the key just past, come back and unlock the door. Or there is an explosive barrel which an enemy up at the top of these stairs just past this gate will roll at you. Now, I've never actually seen the barrel land where it needs to be to get through the wall here. See how there's a crack in it? This guy rolls the barrel. As you can see, it hit the wall and exploded. The way that you can get that to work for you is by coming at it from the complete other side of the map. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Homer Bone. And what I'm going to do is stop very briefly at Majula to level up. And then I'm going to head to the other side of the Lost Bastille, which is the Forest of Fallen Giants side of the map. Alright, use up all these souls while I'm here. Lots and lots of souls. And once again, if you're doing this, be very, very careful that you don't accidentally burn one of your boss souls until you trade them in with an NPC found in the Lost Bastille for weapons that can be made from the boss souls. Once you've got the weapons you want, of course you can burn all of these, but until then, don't spend them just yet. Alright, how many of the large Titanites do I have? 3, which is enough to upgrade the weapon once again, so I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Oops. That's +5. I'm actually also going to upgrade the short bow. Now, if you did get lucky enough to get a sea bow from the No Man's Wharf, by all means use that one. I'm going to stick to the short bow even though I got the drop, just because this is intended as a informational and educational video. So, sticking to only base stuff, nothing that relies on super rare drops. Alright. Upgrade the Estus Flask. And level up. And that's a lot of souls to use, so I think I'm going to just go ahead and upgrade kind of everything here. Strength, a little bit more adaptability, mostly hit points and strength though. Since that is both damage and survivability. Okay. So, the one I want here, the bonfire, is the Tower Apart. This is where the eagle drops you off after you defeat the pursuer for the first time. And if you remember, I grabbed both these chests already back in that video. So, a couple of secrets here. Run along the wall. Be very, very careful not to fall off. It's usually easiest to kind of aim your camera a little bit into the wall. A little bit slower, but definitely much safer. Oops, that guy shot me before he could even see me. Alright, I'm going to push this barrel off at this 45-degree angle, causing an explosion to take out all the dogs. Through this door, you can immediately see a chest, and now that's actually a trap, and I'm going to reverse the camera here to show you why. As soon as you reach the chest, what a surprise! There is the pursuer. So I'm just going to fight him the same way you always do. Staying away from that blue stuff, bait the shield rush, get some hits in, and just rinse and repeat. Anything that's not a shield rush, probably just safe to roll away from. If you're feeling brave, you can do what I just did there, where I dodged the first two, and then on the third attack, moved in close. Ooh. That, by the way, is how you're supposed to dodge the blue sword. If you're too close to back up out of range, you have to kind of roll into and past the pursuer to get away from it. Otherwise, he's going to get you with phantom range, and it's going to hurt. Okay. And I do recommend that you get good at fighting the pursuer. Practice a lot, because we're going to be fighting him probably 3 to 4 more times. And if you're not good at it, that's going to be a real painful process. Okay, from that chest, I just got another Fragrant Branch of Yore and a unmodified Covenant Silver Serpent Ring. So, unfortunately, our ring that we have already is better than that, and you can't wear more than one, so not very useful. But that Covenant Branch, Covenant, Fragrant Branch of Yore definitely will come in handy in just a little bit. This door, by the way, only opens from this side. If you try to come at it from the other direction, there is no way to get past it except for an extremely, extremely dangerous jump from up there. I don't recommend it. I've done it once, but I died probably like 20 times trying to figure it out. Not really worth the effort. Alright, here's Lucatile again. She will give you a human effigy. And if you exhaust her dialogue to the point where she says... She starts talking about the undead. There we go.
One can skirt this wicked fate only with the help of the souls found here. Assuming, of course, that the legends are true. I can only hope.
So, there used to be a bug where if you skipped past her dialogue, she would not trigger that animation where she takes the mask off and flings it on the ground. The way you avoid that is by waiting until she says, assuming that the rumors are true, I can only hope that they are. I don't know if the bug was fixed or not, but I prefer not to take chances, because if the bug does go into effect, after you finish talking to her here, she won't show up at her next spot and kind of disappears from the game. So I just let her talk. It's much easier. Okay, so that super advanced jump I mentioned earlier is from right here. You try to jump and land on that edge over there, but as you can see, there's a giant pit. Once again, I do not recommend it. Not really worth the trouble. But next up is right here. We're going to fight both of these guys. Oops. Now, if these guys are giving you a hard time, you can just back up. Don't come across this stone all the way. Switch to your bow and arrow and shoot one of these with the flame arrow, causing an explosion, which it won't kill them, but it will damage them significantly. Okay, back down here. And this is the guy that rolls the barrel. And you might be tempted to sneak up and hit him, but that's actually a mistake. What you want to do is actually run past him and roll the barrel yourself like this. Now, if it doesn't explode when it hits the wall, like if its targeting is off a little bit, you can just go down to the barrel, push it into place manually, and then either throw a bomb at it or shoot it with a flaming arrow. Just make sure that it's in front of the wall so that it does break it open. Okay. Rest here. Actually, I'm going to light a torch first. Head into this room. Now, as you can see, there's the crazy blacksmith guy, and he's sitting on the chest. He's blocking it. And the way you get him off of there is you light this torch, and you rest at the bonfire. And he moves off of the chest over to here, leaving you free to get the loot. Bunch of stuff in here. Arrows, crossbow bolts, titanite. The craftsman's hammer is right here. It's actually a really good strike weapon. The mace might be slightly better, but the craftsman hammer is really, really good. However, it does upgrade with twinkling titanite instead of regular titanite, so keep that in mind. Okay. Flame, flame, flame. I smell flame. Give me the flame. Give me that ember right now.
So, hand that ember to me, right now, you imbecile.
You imbecile. Yeah, he's pretty rude, but go ahead and give him the ember anyway, because he not only sells a bunch of really cool stuff, a bunch of nice weapons, but most importantly, he sells unlimited numbers of iron arrows. So I'm going to buy about, I don't know, 100. And also sells unlimited number of large titanite shards. So, for all your upgrade needs, this is your guy. But, just wait, that's not all. He also infuses weapons. So if you have any faint stones, dark night stones, those sorts of things, you can infuse your weapons with elemental effects. Usually what it does is it changes the stat that it scales with. So like for instance, if I added fire, you can see that there's a B next to the little flame icon. So that means it's going to scale with intelligence. Lightning scales with faith, of course. Dark Knight scales with that little eyeball symbol. That means hex, and that's both intelligence and faith. And you can check the wiki for all the super details, but yeah, this guy is a pretty important blacksmith. He will also reinforce your weapons. I'm going to go and do that now. Both the battle axe and the short bow. And I'm pretty much good to go here. Well equipped. Alright. Next stop. Back through this area I've already been to. Take care of these dogs first. I should be blocking first. I'm not using my shield as well as I could be. Alright. Shoot this guy off of here. Now you may be tempted to run in and smash the scaffolding, but there's a really good reason not to. Let's see, get this dog here as well. And that's because our good friend the pursuer shows up again. Once again, mainly you're trying to just stay away from him and bait his shield rush. The shield rush is the one you really want. The 3-hit combo is risky like that. He just doesn't want to do it, does he? And if you get too far out into the room, the other archers will start to take pot shots at you, so... Oops. Almost done. There we go. So, if you get into trouble, like your hit points are too low, or you don't feel like you can handle them and want to reset the fight, you can either retreat back into here, and the pursuer will disappear, or you can just run back over here. Likewise, the pursuer, he won't go past this kind of grassy area. So you can also ditch into this little room here, which he won't be able to reach you here either. So just a couple of options for you if you get into trouble. You can always go back and rest at the bonfire and then reset the fight entirely. So, alright, I'm going to get out my short bow because these explodey dudes here, they all die in one shot, even if you don't upgrade the short bow. Just as long as you're using iron arrows, and you've started with the swordsman class and have my 16, 17 dexterity or so, these guys will always die in one hit. So if you don't have 16 or 17 dexterity, then hopefully you've done like I've done and upgraded your bow, in which case it won't matter. So, alright, more dogs. Let's go, dog. You've missed. You missed twice. And just above on the roof, there is a guy waiting to drop down an ambush. And just like back in town, we've got one of these wells with a rock tied to it. Unfortunately, this time it's not treasure. It's actually an ambush, so hit this rock and run back to these stairs and get your bow out. There's 3 of these exploding suicide guys. Give them the old short bow, and they don't stand a chance. Wanderer set is the set that the swordsman starts with, so I don't need that. I'm going to shoot this barrel with my flaming arrow. Opens up that cave and damages the guy that was in there. Run over here and kill this guy first. Then this guy. And I might as well just shoot this guy. There we go. Up the ladder. More souls. And in this hole we blew in the wall, here is the Archdrake Robes and Shield. Both of those are actually pretty good, and if I didn't already have the Dranglic set, that Archdrake Robe is the one that the Cleric starts with, is actually really good as far as armor value. Alright, pop a lockstone right in here to light up the room. Let's just see that ninja up there on the roof. Beat him down. And in this chest we have the Twin Blade. It's kind of a weird dex weapon. It's not, in my opinion, very good, but if you want to be an edgelord, that's your weapon. Parry Dagger. Over here we have the Bone Staff, which is good for, it's kind of good for hexes. And this secret area is another soul vessel, in case you want to respec your stats again. Alright. Up the ladder just returns you back to the main concourse area. In here, however, is the direction we want to go. Got another chest of loot. And an elevator. Up a couple levels. Now, on the way up, you're going to notice right behind me there should be some loot. And the way you get that is by taking some fall damage. Now, fall damage in Dark Souls 2 is a combination of how far you fall and how much equipment you've got on. So, go ahead and remove all your armor. And you're just going to line up right on the middle here. and just walk off. Don't sprint or anything, just regular forward movement. Grab the loot, line up with the middle kind of walkway there, and slowly walk off. And then again, don't sprint, just full forward movement, and you'll land right there. So, put your gear back on, and that's how you get that. Alright, Ring of Blades, Endurance, Regeneration, Stone Ring, and Covenant +1. Battle Axe, Short Bow, Item Find Shield, Feather Helmet, and then the Dranglic Gloves and Legs. Looks like I've got a little bit of extra room here, so 73, 80, 81, nothing quite yet as an upgrade. So how about better physical defense, but I think the Watch Dragon Parma is going to be the way to go for now. Okay, back into the elevator. I guess I don't need these throwing daggers anymore. Doesn't let you unequip stuff while you're on the elevator. Good to know. Okay. In this next room, there are several of these weird pottery, I don't know what to call them, things. Inside some of them are more of these exploding guys. So, I'm going to go and take care of them before they get a chance to attack. Like so. Pull this lever to open the gate. And right across this walkway, that's the final boss area. I'm not going to do that just yet. I actually continue to head upstairs. Take out a bunch of these guys. And I'm going to use one of my remaining fragrant branches. How many do I have? 2? Perfect. To free this guy. And this guy is Strayed. He's kind of a dark, edgy sorcerer type. He talks a lot of trash. He does, however, sell a number of pretty good pyromancies and dark sorceries, or hexes. He also will give you items if you trade him boss souls. So, couple of spellcasting rings. This ring is if you want to lock your soul memory at a specific value, because while you're wearing it, you will not gain souls. Yeah. Lots and lots of spells. If you're doing a spellcasting build, I'll let you look at each one of those individually. Mostly the pyromancies are good, and Dark Orb super, super good. But anyway, we'll go and learn the Mock Gesture and trade. As you can see down at the bottom, this sword gets, you have to trade the soul of the Pursuer, the Flexial Sentry, Last Giant, and so on and so forth. Now, I'm going to go ahead and grab the Pursuer Sword, the Warped Sword, Giant Stone Axe, and the Dragon Rider Bow. Now, once you've traded 4 boss souls to this guy, talk to him, and he says, take these, put them on, and stop being so weak. Anyway, like I said, he talks a lot of trash. Now, I'm not actually going to use any of those weapons. I just wanted to get completion's sake. The robe, as you can see, is a pretty good armor value, but if you'll notice, also requires 16 intelligence to use. So, can't quite equip it with this build. I just wanted to show how to do that. Now, if you're not going to do any spell casting ever, I would say instead of trading to this guy, you might as well just eat the souls and get that experience points. Strayed will always hang out here, so once you've freed him, you can always return if there's another boss soul weapon you want. Some of them are pretty good, some of them not so much, but I'm going to go ahead and cut the video here, and then in part 2 I'm going to finish up the rest. I'll go fight the Ruined Sentinels and the final boss, and that should be, I think 2 videos should do it. But as usual, guys, hopefully you enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next one, and until then, peace.